Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today for our total scrap video, I thought I would colour some scrap fabric just to show you how I do it. I've done a few bits here which I wanted to make for next week's video. I just wanted to make a nice grungy, scrappy flower or bow or something like that. So I thought I'd do it all this week. And then it will give it time to really dry properly and the colour to come out of it, because obviously our weather isn't fabulous at the moment, so it will take a little bit longer to dry. So I'm just going to leave it hanging in my craft room, and then we can dry it all. It will look really lovely. So really simple, but I thought I would just show you how to do it. I love these colours, nice grungy colours. I do have some seam binding in between there as well, and that is a new seam binding. It's not scrappy, but I do love seam binding in work. So look at these, aren't they just gorgeous? So I'm making them all nice sort of greenies and browns, so they look all pretty and grungy. So I've got a few pieces here. I've got some lace. I'm not sure how this one will take the colour, because the best fabrics to use are obviously cotton based, without the sort of like shiny synthetic bits on it. So I've got bits of cheesecloth, different types of cheesecloth. I've got some very old fabric here, which is really nice, but it does tear easy. But look, the colour just soaks in, absolutely fabulous. It's a really old cotton. I think it was like a dishcloth that I had, and I just think it comes up lovely. So I've got some of that. I've got some ones that I've already sort of like tea stained last year. I have got another piece of that. I've got some old pillowcase. I've got some ribbon here. Now I actually wet this prior, because this is sort of like it's got a fabric stiffener or something on it. Let me have a look. And this is the one that I did. So, but I have wet this just to make sure it's got really wet. I've got a little thing of water here. Now that's warm, because the best thing to do when you are, well, what I found is when you're colouring fabric is to wet it first, and it's a lot easier. You don't have to use so much of your inks or whatever you're going to be using to colour it. Now what I'm going to be using is Distress Oxide sprays. Now I just love these, as you probably know. So we've got frayed burlap, I've got ground espresso, old paper, we have gathered twigs, I have shabby shutters, bundled sage, I have weathered wood, and then I have my new Lindy ones, which are the Long John Silver, and these are the ones with the nice sparkly bits in. We have Long John Silver, we have the Buccaneer Bronze. So let me just pop those out the way, and then I have these two, which are the purpley ones. So this purpley one is the Polite People Purple, and this one is Canadian Bacon Blush. So I might use those, I'm not sure. I just like the sort of like shiny bits in this one, so we will see. So the first thing, I'm going to try this one actually. I'm just going to pop it in a little bit of water, so just a little bit of warm water, just to get it really wet. Okay, and then just wring it out. You want to make sure it's all nice and wet, and all I'm going to do is just spray it. Just spray it nicely with a little bit of spray. And then what I do, I just rub it just like that in between my hands, and that just sort of like goes all the way through the fabric. I found it the easiest way. Can you see it? That makes it look really nice and dirty. So what should we do? I think I might take one of my favorite colors, which is the frayed burlap, and this has sort of like that patina look to it as well when it dries. Sort of like got that nice, which I put here on this one. Gives it that green patina look. Whether it will come out on this, I don't know. We shall see. So we will leave it like that. So that has actually taken the colour quite well. I don't want it any darker, but I think that looks really nice. I'm going to pop that to the side there, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to just colour the cotton bits. Let's just pop that in some water, squeeze that out. So use any of your scrappy fabrics, any old t-shirts you've got, anything like that. If you don't have scrap fabric, just have a little look, or go to some charity shops and pick some bits and pieces out, but try and get the cotton, because it is so much better. And I really don't think that you need so much colour. I'm going to spray this. This one's quite yellow. Can you see that's got an iridescent-y colour? This is older paper. Now let's just squidge this together. See how it just goes in. Look at that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of my seam binding. I'm going to wet it just a little bit. Look, just squeeze that out, just so you've got it nice and wet. And then I'm going to pop it on top, because this is quite wet, so I've got quite a lot of colour on there. So I'm just going to rub these two together, and then that will take on the colour. Look at that. Bit yellow for me. I think we need a little bit of brown in here. It's a bit too. That's quite a nice spring colour though, isn't it? Shall I use a little bit of this? Don't want it too dark. So I'm just, oh, that's a little bit better, isn't it? There we go. So let's have a go. What's this one? Buccaneer Bronze. So just to show you how I do it, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun today. Now they're not quite dark enough, so let's just add. Not quite sure it, because this one's a little bit yellowy. I don't really want the yellowy colour. There we go, that's better. So when that dries, hopefully it'll be a little bit sort of lighter and sort of like nicer. But look at these. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mop up some of that on there, and then I have a radiator next to me, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop these on the radiator just to see them. I'm going to pop this one on the radiator as well, just to see if that will dry. I shouldn't really. Now this is an old piece that I had, which I'm just going to mop up off my hands like that, and we can use that later. So let's have a little bit of this, shall we? Okay, let's just wet it. So it's really simple, and I get asked quite a lot on how I colour my fabric and my seam binding, and this is how I do it. I just have a little afternoon of getting seam binding and scrappy bits of fabric and using that. So, and my oxide. So this is weathered wood. So this is more of a grey colour. Let's just add these into it. Tiny bit brown. I'm just mixing these, not even thinking about it, and then just seeing what colours come out. Because they're all the sort of colours that I want, I'm not bothered about mixing them, because I don't mind them being the browny colours. Now I'm not gonna wet this one, because this fabric is really quite wet, so it should soak that up quite well. Give it a good rub. There we go. That one's gone yellow again, hasn't it? Look at that. Love that. And when you've torn this into little strips, I think that will look really, really nice. Loving it. So, what should we add to this one? Let's just, I might actually pop. Do you think it'll look horrible with purple on it? Let's see. If we don't experiment, we don't know. Now, that's the reason I have gloves on as well, because you will get very grubby fingers. Oh, I quite like that with a little hint of purple. Might add a little bit of brown just to take that purpley, the too purpley bit away. What should we go for? That one might be a bit dark. Maybe not. There you go. Oh, I think that was a little bit dark, wasn't it? Let's get another piece of this. Let me wet that. Taken all the colour that I put in it and covered it up with brown. Okay. Let's just give this a wiggle around. Well, that doesn't matter. We'll have a nice dark brown piece, won't we? Look at that. Lovely. Can you see these little flowers on there are still showing through, which is nice. Look at the mess I've made. Now these can go into the corner there. I will take this again, my scrubby bit, just scrunch that up. There we go. Well, we have a nice dark piece now. Can't see any of the purple in there. We can a little bit on here, but we've got a nice dark piece now, so there we go. That can go over there. This can mop up some of the ink on here, so this is looking nice and grungy, isn't it? So let me see if any of these have sort of dried a little bit. Can you see? Look at that. Oh, I like that colour. See, these down in strips, when you ripped these in strips like this, oh, it rips down this way. Look at that. I think that will look really nice as little grungy bits of flower when I do it. Pop those back on there. This is the seam binding. This is going to take a little while to dry, I think. So this is why I've done them now, so I will be ready for next week. So let's take a little bit more of the seam binding. Pop that in. Again, you can probably just, if you don't have any inks or things like that, just pop them into different strengths of coffee or tea. So if you've got scrap fabric, just pop them into some tea or coffee, and you will get your colours as well. So you will get some nice browns, so you can make a nice grungy flower as well, or something. Nice bit of grungy fabric to add into your stash. Now that's quite pretty, isn't it? Should we add now? I think, which one was it? I think it was this one. Or was it this one? Long John Silver. I think this is quite pale, but that might just make a lovely colour. Look at that. That's lovely. I do like that colour. Now I like it where you got it patchy as well. So can you see we got different sort of like colours in there. So I'm going to pop that to the side. I'm really pleased how that's come out, because that's taken the colour really well. See all these little bits in there, so loving it, loving it. Shall we do a little bit more? Now I do like how this comes out. I wonder if I have any more of this. And actually I've got this, which is, this is like a wool. I got it in a big ball of wool and I didn't have anything else left, so I was just wondering if this would take some colour. Now, as you can see, it's nice and wet there. So that would be quite nice, wouldn't it, if it took a little bit of colour on there. Put these bits out of the way. Now I'd quite like that actually. Is it bundled sage? No, frayed burlap. Frayed burlap is my favourite. But the nozzles do get blocked on these. Let's just give that a wiggle round. Oh, I like this. Oh, that's lovely. Now I'm going to have a root around and see if I have any more of this wool. Look at that. I love it. It looks like moss. You could use that as sort of like a bit of moss, couldn't you? That would look really nice. I like that. There we go. That was a simple one, wasn't it? And you've got the browns and you've got like the greens in there. So let's see, I'll try and get these dry, and I'll pop a picture at the end of the video, so whenever this video goes out I will see. Right, what colour? I think I want to go for a darker brown. I've got this one here which I did, so let's just add a few bits of that. Add a little bit of this in there as well. Scrunch it up. So again, if you aren't into your grungy colours, obviously do the nice bright colours as well. Look at that. I do like the way that this cottony stuff takes the colour, which is lovely. Now again, that's quite wet. I think I have a little bit of seam binding left on here. Let's just roll that up like that. There we go. That's come out a nice colour. That's almost like coffee stained, isn't it? So I'm going to leave that colour. So look, these are the colours of the seam binding. Did I have some more here somewhere? These are the ones that I did before, which have actually dried, and they look really nice, don't they? All those colours are fab. Now I could actually do with, I don't have any more, but I might do, maybe I will change, maybe I think I might change this one into a bit greenier. Greenier, is that a word? Right, I'm going to leave that one there. I want it to look a bit like this. So, whether it will, I don't know. Let's see. Because on this one, can you say it gives that lovely sort of patina look? I know I go on about it a lot, but I just think it looks lovely. There we go. So I wonder if that, when that dries, I'm going to leave it like that and then see if it will oxidize. There we go. Perfect. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there because I'm limited for my time, so I'm going to quickly finish those in a minute. But there we go. This is how I colour my fabric. All right, so this is just a quick idea. I'm going to leave these to dry and then next week we will make something out of it, so we can make something out of our nice scrappy bits of fabric. But so there we are, nice grungy look. Oh, I haven't done that. I must do that in a minute as well. So there we go, lovely and grungy. Watch these pieces, look at that, that's drying lovely. You can see all the different colors, look at that. See, this is nice with the oxides because they have lots of colors in them. And this is the piece there, look. Lovely, lovely grunginess. Okay guys, well there we go. That's what we have been up to today. So that's our total scrap, colouring scrap fabric. So there we are. So you can use other things as well. So all sorts of, if you've got any sort of alcohol inks or things like that, they will work. But just try. If you've got a colour that you want to use, just try and see. As long as you don't sort of like, it's something that you're going to be washing, I wouldn't worry about it. Because obviously the stuff that we have in our journals we don't generally wash, so I wouldn't worry about it being colour fast at all, unless you're going to wash it. But these little bits are fine. Okay guys, well thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of the day and I will see you soon. Alright guys, bye bye.